To me, being a global citizen means to understand and appreciate other cultures and values. While I may have thought I was one before, I had no idea that I would soon learn what it means to be a true global citizen. I left my comforting town of Lexington, South Carolina on January 8th to embark on the adventure of a lifetime, my study abroad experience. I left from Columbia Airport and flew straight to New York City to meet up with my roommate, Michelle. We then flew over to Europe together, and when we landed in Brussels, I knew that I was not in South Carolina anymore. We were immediately taken by taxi to our new apartment in the city, and we could not be more excited to see where we were living. We were more than pleasantly surprised when we saw how massive our apartment was and what a perfect location it was in. Not to mention the beautiful view. It is right beside the Thomas Green Clemson University Brussels Center. I was also blessed with two great roommates, Samantha from Charlotte and Michelle from Charleston. My first adventure was to the city of Ghent with my Belgian neighbor from fall semester in the cultural exchange community. We were able to get my first beer and my first taste of real fries. After exploring Brussels for a few weeks, we were ready to set out on our first big adventure, a weekend in London, England. It was so nice to hear English for the first time in a month, but my hostel experience was not as nice. We set out on a walking tour and were able to see Buckingham Palace, as well as Big Ben, and also the London Bridge by nighttime, which was absolutely beautiful. We met many new friends, and the next day we set out for a ride to the top of the London Eye to get the best views of the city. I certainly fell in love with London that weekend. Our second big trip was to Amsterdam, the Netherlands. After visiting the Anne Frank House, we were able to take a walking tour of the Heineken factory and go through all the different processes that they use to make beer. Don't forget, we even had a little taste test at the end. The scenery and canals, as well as the atmosphere, made it for a very welcoming city, despite the cold weather. I recommend Ryanair as an inexpensive way to get to your European destinations. For our first 5-day break, we took a trip to Spain. I grew up learning Spanish, so being immersed in the culture was a great experience for me. We hopped a train to Barcelona, where the official language is Catalan. We were able to go to Park Güell to see Gaudi's famous architecture designs. In March, my roommate from the cultural exchange community last semester in Clemson was able to come visit me from Austria for a weekend. We had a great time catching up and even hosted some of the other CEC students from last semester at my apartment. Here, our semester is broken into 2 parts, so after our first set of exams, we went to the Canary Islands to get some much-needed relaxation in the sun. Since our apartment is so huge, we decided to host Wednesday night dinners for our program so that we could all get together and relax and catch up over a good meal. 2 of my good friends from the States came to visit me for Clemson's spring break, Laura and Anna Lauren. We decided to make the most of our time together and headed off to Paris, France for the weekend.
Ready to die?
Hey, c'est ton premier, moi le deuxième.
Ouais. Oh, this is living. This is.
We were able to slow down and take our time exploring and see for ourselves the way the culture reveals itself through its nomos. For my Easter break, I was able to visit my dream destination of Italy to see my good friend Christine, who is studying abroad in Florence, and her crazy fun roommates.
It is about 4 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday night. Christina and Christine Davidson are performing. Look at her, she's a snake. Watch out, come here, who's coming?
From Florence, we then took a holiday trip down to the Amalfi Coast and the island of Capri. While in southern Italy, we had to visit the formerly buried Roman town of Pompeii, which was not rediscovered until 1592. It's hard to realize that my study abroad experience has come to an end, but I have one word to sum it up: thankful. Thankful for the friends that I've met, the places that I've traveled to, and the many different cultural experiences I've had. I can now say with certainty that I am a global citizen.